What's up guys? Welcome back to another One Punch Man, the strongest YouTube video. For today's video, we will have a quick discussion on the early game recommended whale lineup. For those who are heavy spenders out there, this is the lineup you need to have right now early on despite not having other limited SSRs released in the game. So here, this is like a lineup suggestion for you guys who have pulled for Metal Knight, King, but we don't have still Metal Bat and of course Silver Fang in the game. But of course, this guide is for you guys to know that who are the best characters in the game that you need to have in order for you to dominate early on with Zombieman being released, just being the third limited SSR in the game, meaning that the risk and of course the release of Zombieman is pretty much so much earlier or 1 month earlier than the other servers out there. Now, let's talk about the early off meta. First of all, the early off meta is Mosquito Girl, and of course we have Melza. So Melza is actually hard to acquire in the game because you can only get him with superb tickets. But then again, he is an amazing character if you have him. But right now with Zombieman coming our way right now, of course, maybe 2 days from now, December 1 is his official release. Everything will change. The meta will change. Now, let's talk about this one. The early game recommended whale lineup. Actually, the recommended whale lineup is the one that you need to really focus on, especially for those who are spending and of course who got all the characters necessary in the game right now, especially Carnage Kabuto, which is the number one tank that you need during the Zombieman era. If you don't get him, I heard that there will be a Carnage Kabuto banner rate up soon. I don't know if they will really release that kind of banner, but I am hoping they will because I myself have not pulled Carnage Kabuto yet on my main account. Now, without further ado, let's talk about this early game recommended lineup. But first of all, frontline characters. Of course, frontline characters is of course the core, which is Zombieman, because he has a passive that lets him reborn and deal a lot of damage, which is 60% damage to the enemy every time he dies. So meaning when he dies, he inflicts AoE damage to all, meaning 3 times when he dies, the enemy will receive 180% damage from his passive. And of course, we don't have Metal Bat, so let's cross him out. Cross. And of course, why TTM is an amazing character in Frontline, because he has tenacity, and with his tenacity, the core of Zombieman will be effective, and of course, it will activate and providing you with additional energy. And of course, Alloy is one of the tanks that are good during the Zombieman era. And don't forget about Carnage Kabuto as the number one must-have character during the Zombieman era. Now, let's talk about the backline characters who are mostly really not that needed between 1, 2, 3, and of course, we have 4. I will just tell you guys that 4 and 5. Now, the really needed backline characters are of course King. For those who have pulled King during his banner, then of course, I know you have him. And he is an amazing character, AoE burst character. And of course, he has a seal that lets you seal the energy of the opponent, which is pretty amazing. Now, Terrible Tornado is one, because he is an AoE character. She is an AoE character that does a lot of damage. If you have Borus, you can combine the two. Why? Because Terrible Tornado being at the back enables Boros Ultimate to have an additional 105 additional damage when he is ulting, meaning that is important to keep in mind. But then again, I know for those people who have MK drawn for him, he is amazing because somehow Metal Knight will be a counter during the Zombieman era because of his burn. Meaning that he can kill Zombieman pretty much easier, but then again, Metal Knight is not really a S tier character. I would rather have King rather than MK. And of course, for those who does not have Carnage Kabuto, Tank Top Master, Alloy, for me, I have Tank Top Master but I don't have Carnage Kabuto. For those who are not having the exact lineup right here, the needed characters, I would say that you use Beast King or Amai, which I know for you guys who focus on PvE, especially the club bosses, you will have a max out Amai and BK because you are using them in terms of club bosses. So now, what is important to keep in mind is putting Amai at the back. I know it is really hard to believe, but Amai is amazing because he is a grappler during the era. If you don't have Alloy, you can put Amai rather than Alloy. And of course, if you don't have Carnage Kabuto just like me, I would put Amai, TTM, Tatsumaki, Boros, and of course, I have a Sky King. If I will put Sky King, no, I forgot that is 3 grapplers, so I might put TTM, Amai, or Beast King, depending on what I really get if I get Zombieman during his release. Now, let's talk about Silverfang. Silverfang is actually not here right now. Actually, Silverfang should be the next limited SSR. But of course, the developers changed their mind. And I won't say they've become greedy, but I know some of you guys know it. But I will not mention it anymore. Silverfang is amazing during the Zombieman era because he is a grappler, provides tenacity, and of course, he can damage the enemy in a column. Now, if you don't have really a lot of characters that I have mentioned right now, you can use Melza if you get him in the superb draw. And if you have Mosquito Girl, he is good because he can heal with her just auto attacking. So you don't need for him to ult, you just need him to attack because his attack will grant you healing. She has an healing that will surely help your team be more in a surviving capability, meaning that this lineup will be amazing in defending rather than attacking. If you have a team that is pretty much unkillable for 10 rounds, then it will be amazing for you to defend rather than attacking. But then again, I hope you have certain characters that deals a lot of damage for you to kill Zombieman faster every single turn than killing the other characters that are the support of Zombieman. That means that the battle is over. But for defense, I would rather have a defensive characters. You can use TTM, Alloy, and of course you can use Mosquito Girl if you have upgraded them. Now, I can't really say more about the early game recommended whale lineup. This will really depend on you guys and depend on who you have in your account. Meaning, this will depend whether you have Carnage Kabuto, Tank Top Master, Alloy, Tatsumaki, Boros, King, and any other SSR in the game. Guys, thank you guys. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, check the description below and join our YouTube community Discord for us to have an amazing discussion about other topics that will be very helpful in you keeping up with the meta, and of course, enjoying the game with knowledge from me and of course from other players in the game.